Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
And I'm Office Bloke Max.
Three of us together, the Office Blokes.
Oh, yeah.
If Patreon is your thing, check out the link in the description below. Loads of stuff on there, starting for a bargain price of just...
At £1.50 a month.
You won't be disappointed. Check it out. A bit of casual geographic.
Love this channel.
The one, yeah, I do as well.
Love this channel.
Brilliant, isn't
Yeah.
it? The one, I missed the title. The one rule of nature school never taught you.
No, right, okay.
Let's go.
Demonic. Oh my god.
She wants to come in with us.
Yeah, good choice.
You have been consistently lied to your entire life, and the biggest source of some of the most unprovoked lies is school. School really told us that this dude in '92 discovered America, that quicksand and giant Venus flytraps were way more of an issue than they ended up being, that writing in cursive was the only way you'd ever be taken seriously, and my personal favorite, whenever a teacher would say, "This won't slide in college."
I just want to say something here. I wrote something the other day.
Yeah.
Someone said to me, I went to an event and he said, can you just write down what you want to eat? And I'll leave it on my table and we'll go outside. And then when you come back, they'll take it while we're out. So I said, okay, and I wrote down chicken. My handwriting was fucking awful. Like I wrote
You don't have to write anything down.
No, you don't have to write anything
down.
down.
I see it all the time. I go, whoa, okay.
I just looked at it and I was like, looks like I wrote that with my feet. It was like proper bad. I was like, well, cross it out.
Finger painting.
I thought, shall I cross it out and start again? I thought, then it's going to look even worse.
I know where you're coming from. Mine's
This guy's 4% at chicken.
But I've always, even when I was at school, I'm writing capitals as well. So it's even worse.
I know what you mean,
capitals.
mate. I'm with you on that, honestly. Mine's terrible. as well.
Technology's killed us, man.
It looked like I wrote it on a log, but with all the grooves in it.
Yeah.
just looked
Shaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Time, your calculus professor at 5 p.m. can end up your beer pong partner by 11. But there's one mistruth that insists on being spread, and before we get to that, story time. So back in the 70s, ornithologists noticed something pretty disturbing, even for them. Fola is a remote island over 200 miles off Scotland, and for generations, migratory birds, specifically Arctic terns and one of the ops of happy feet, the skua, use it as nesting grounds to raise their chicks. And a group of ornithologists noticed a gruesome trend of chicks with pretty graphic injuries. Some chicks looked like they had a leg or two ripped off. For others, the same, but with their wings. Some chicks even had their heads divorced from their body, for sure irreconcilable. And while some of the chicks somehow survived being mutilated, scientists had no idea what was causing this sudden rise in amputees. At first they guessed otters or even hedgehogs, but it turned out to be neither. You wanna know what it was? I promise you'll never guess it. I'll even give you a chance to try. Comment what you think. I bet you're wrong. The
Snake,
answer,
throw mother.
Sheep. Yeah.
Sheep?
Whoa.
Scientists observed grazing sheep stumble across a defenseless chicken without a second thought or really even much of a prequel, grab them and eat them. Sometimes the sheep would snap off a leg for a premature drumstick. Other times they might grab one by the head and initiate a permanent separation, swallowing skull and all whole. From 1973 to 1980, nearly 700 baby birds have been victimized by the business end of a carnivorous Q-tip. In the grand scheme of things, that's only a dent in the thousands of birds born in that time. Then again, nobody expected sheep to be involved in foul play. And that goes back to those lies I told you about. So in science class, we were taught this rule: herbivores eat plants, carnivores eat meat, and those with culinary commitment issues are called omnivores. And for a lot of us, that's where it ended, but of course, nature's more complicated than that. It's like a spectrum, and on one end you have obligate herbivores, as in they're obligated to eat just plants or starve to death. Here you got animals like koalas, sloths, and the dead-eyed plush toy, the bear cuz. Then you have the same concept but obligate carnivores, like cats, of every kind. And smack in the middle are your omnivores. But there's also facultatives, and basically that means most of the time you'll find them at one end, but every once in a while they'll borrow a meal plan from the other side. Polar bears are hypercarnivores, with most of their calories coming from seals, but rarely they'll switch it up to berries, seaweed, moss, and even straight up grass, which makes them facultative carnivores and not an obligate like a lion. And since we're already on bears, pandas are a good example of facultative herbivores. I promise it's gonna get less complicated, but the yin-yang yogi's defining personality trait is being a bamboo merchant. But every once in a while, they surprise us, like when this panda was caught in 4K eating a past tense wildebeest, or when the DreamWorks jockey chased, caught, murked, and ate a peacock. They've also been known to hunt pikas. That's a pika. So even though most of what goes down his gullet is bamboo, protein in the form...
I'll tell you what I do find on this channel. Loads of animals I've never heard of.
Yeah, he just throws them out there because that's that. Anyway, back to it.
He always does making up any clearly. Must be.
But meat is never really off the table, which makes them facultative herbivores. And they're not the only ones. Almost the opposite. Almost every herbivore you can think of is actually facultative, even the ones you wouldn't expect. That's how the Good Vibes vegan aqua blimp has also been known to snag fish from nets for themselves. Then you got the normally vegetarian shell jockey the tortoise, turning a rabbit carcass into a cookout.
Huh?
They've also been known to
How the hell did they catch that?
that?
They've already been dead.
Yeah, they must have been, surely.
Oh, there you go.
It's more about you.
So that was quick.
There was even that time India released 25,000 flesh-eating turtles to deal with the whole corpse population problem in the Ganges. It didn't work, by the way. But by far, the biggest culprit of covert carnivory are deer. The same deer that's usually the poster boy for the middle child of the food chain will occasionally get calories from something like a past tense bunny. A couple years ago, researchers wanted to see just what happens to the human body after the soul evacuates, and basically set up these body farms to see how they decompose. As you can probably guess, photos would go viral featuring deer chewing on human bones, scavenging through the man-made remains like vultures. In 2015, researchers in North Dakota set up nest cams for a 24-hour live stream of the hatchlings, and not only did the footage catch deer enjoying an extremely late-term omelet, the cervids actually outdid the foxes and weasels in that area, i.e. the ones you'd expect that from. And it wasn't just them being opportunity merchants, some of those deer went out of their way to get to them. And in
I never knew this.
I never knew
many
that.
different species of birds, and so trapped them using mist nets, only for the unhinged ruminants to stroll in and eat the trapped and struggling birds alive, right out of the nets. Growing up is realizing Bambi would have 100% turned on Thumper if times got tough. It's now believed that a nutrient deficiency and a food shortage is really all it takes for an animal to go from herbivore to fernivore. Because one thing about animals, they don't care. A deer not finna pass down a chance for easy protein just because the texture says it. The twist is, almost every
spaghetti?
herbivore on Earth is facultative, meaning they'll take a page out of a predator's playbook if circumstances call for it. That's how you get normally docile horses treating baby birds like popcorn chicken, or that time cows in Australia were caught slurping pythons like fruit roll-ups, all because they were apparently fiending for phosphorus. Even giraffes, yeah, they're not safe either. The verticality merchants of the motherland will often feed off the bones of other animals. Not really swallowing them, but more like licking and sucking on it, pause, so their saliva can leach off nutrients like calcium and phosphorus. There have also been cases of the camel leopard cosplaying antelope snatching up birds to feed on their misfortune. So far, we've learned 3 things. 1, most herbivores are about as vegetarian as their options. 2, baby birds are really the Kit Kat bars of nature. And 3, now you see why Marty did everything in his power to get up out of there. His entire friend group would have had his hide if it got to that point. Which of course brings us to hippos, and this is where things get complicated. At this point,
I think what he's saying is they don't hunt, do they? You're not hunting for these.
It's more
particular...
opportunistic, isn't it,
Yeah.
by the look of it?
Yeah.
If it
The
turns
sort of
up, why not?
Yeah,
Sort
they're
of.
there, so
Oh,
we'll
look,
go for
it's
it.
here. It's in front of me. Someone's put a meal down here. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but I'm going to have it.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
It'd be rude not to.
Yeah, I'm a bit hungry. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fed up with grass. So I'm just going to have a change for today and have a... you know.
Yeah, it's a bit of an eye-opener for me, this.
It's a bit like human vegetarians when they eat like wafer-thin ham.
Yeah, yeah. Or don't want meat, I might have some fish.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I really feel for some fish.
Yeah,
today.
I have the odd burger, but I'm vegan.
No, yeah.
probably
Vegan till
surprises
not.
exactly none of you that the 4-legged assassination cetacean can have a
Surprised the
hankering
human hasn't
for
been on here.
flesh.
Yeah,
Sure,
true,
I've been
yeah.
seen eating carcasses and even resorting to cannibalism.
How big
That's
that
odd,
jaw
though,
is.
Because
Oh
for a
my
while
God.
we thought it was the same deal as before, just animals switching it up when their primary food source is compromised, which would make hippos facultative herbivores. There's that word again. Except more and more scientists are coming to the conclusion that hippos eating meat aren't just scavenging or being opportunists. It's just hippos hippoing. As in, hippos will put themselves in a position to catch a body and subsequently
You stand
feed
there
on it.
recording
There
that.
have been reports of hippos
Out the
milking
way.
livestock and seemingly predatory
Zoom lens,
assaults.
mate.
Some of
Yeah,
them
big
believe
zoom
hippos
lens.
will purposely park themselves in a river migrating animals have no choice but to cross, just so they can turn the casualties into calories. Sometimes that involves punking crocodiles out of food. And of course, you already know, hippos are not above feeding off friendly fire. All this means hippos might not even be herbivores at all, but identify closer to the omnivore side of the spectrum. And that's why it's complicated, because now you're probably...
What a shot that is, isn't it?
I know.
between a facultative
Wow.
herbivore and a straight up omnivore. And there's
Incredible.
an answer I just really couldn't tell you. Like, you could say facultatives eat mostly plants but can resort to meat as a fallback, where omnivores can normally go either way, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't just make that up on the spot. The moral of the story? It's way more complex than just putting labels on things and calling it a cat.
Teeth.
For example,
Ridiculous.
that is a common diker, and it's an antelope less than 2 feet
Sorry?
tall found in sub-Saharan Africa. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the only antelope that regularly eats meat. Along with the shrubs and grasses you'd expect, the meal plan for this antelope undertaker often involves combing through corpses, along with lizards, frogs, small rodents, and, you guessed it, baby birds. And because a good percentage of their diet requires other animals to die with the T silent, I'd call the diker an omnivore. But then, you got this. the tree-loving, pretty privileged acorn hoarders of the rodent world. Many will tell you that with a grocery list of mostly plants, fruits, nuts, and seeds, the squirrel is mostly herbivorous. But squirrels are also infamous for raiding birds' nests and turning pre-meat poultry into protein. And yeah, they do this a lot. On occasion, you'll see squirrels pack up chickens and snakes.
Gotta be New York.
There was even a story of a pack of Russian squirrels ganging up on a stray dog and eviscerating the canine alive, each scurrying off with their share of flesh.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
not so cute now. They're not the only rodents that go rogue either. Normally, grass-eating prairie dogs have been known to savage baby ground squirrels, and on rare occasions, even eat the remains. In case you're curious, they do this by shaking the baby violently until their existence gets revoked. That's not even my worst rodent fact in the chamber. In 1995, a 43-year-old woman was found deceased in her flat, and with facial lesions and lacerations, and the fact that she was naked from the waist down, first responders thought it was a special victims unit kind of crime. Except it was later determined that she had expired to pneumonia. The desecration of her corpse was caused by her pet golden hamster.
No way.
Not only
No,
did the
not
pet feed on
hamsters.
her vacated vessel, law enforcement would find the hamster's makeshift burrow containing human skin, flesh, and muscle tissue. That shouldn't even really be a surprise since hamsters are known cannibals, but what you might not know is that sometimes it can be caused by corn. Researchers at the University of Strasbourg found this out by accident when they tried to figure out why the female hamsters under their care kept dominating their own children. Through some likely traumatizing trial and error, they figured out that just a corn diet was leaving the hamsters missing vital crucial vitamins, specifically B3. They figured that out because once they added B3 back into their diets, the mother hamsters suddenly remembered how to mother. And the crazy part is, that can happen
Incredible.
with
Mad that, innit?
vitamin B3 deficiency can
Nature's
lead
mad.
to
Yeah.
pellagra, a disease associated with diarrhea, dermatitis, dementia, and eventually dying. So in a weird twist, an unbalanced diet can really lead to spawn-wrecking rodents, and they're not the only known cannibals in nature. Chimpanzees are a great example of animals don't care. Chimps have been known to de-life their rivals and devour the body. Now,
These
to
are mad-
us,
mad
it's
animals.
horrific and it makes
Yeah,
us feel
yeah.
like Satan.
Gotta be
To a chimp
careful.
with no legal system or a sense of morality, just a will to live, it's common sense, murking your rival to protect your food supply and not letting easy protein go to waste. And before you judge, early humans reportedly made the brains of terminated children a somewhat regular part of their diets. But I think people forget chimps aren't just violent pseudo-vegans, they're legit predators. As in, they'll work together in coordinated attacks on prey like colobus monkeys. Which, you know, isn't all that different from getting disemboweled by a pack of Olympic-level parkour zombies. They've also been known to hunt bush babies, that's a bush baby, by using spears. But with all the chimp carnage on this channel, them having carnivore tendencies should really be no surprise. The plot twist is, even the pacifists of the great apes can be on predatory timing. Most people, including me about 2 weeks ago, see orangutans as a good vibes hippie vegetarians of the primate world. Which is almost true. Ginger apes eat mostly the stuff you'd expect, you know, fruits, figs, leaves, maybe some termites to go with bird eggs. But then you got this, an orangutan tearing apart a slow loris. The same one known for being venomous, which orangs figured out how to neutralize by using the loris's natural weakness, blunt force trauma in the form of a bite through the skull. Now, to be fair, a meat-eating man of the forest is remarkably rare. But then again, chances are, before this video, a good number of y'all probably thought orangutans were only a threat to pieces of fruit. The same way a lot of people feel about toucans. Well, this roided-up woodpecker, which is actually what toucans are, the more you know, has also been known to put
great
bats on
animal.
permanent leave
Wow,
from
yeah.
life. Yeah, that's the part Fruit Loops commercials ain't show you. They're also one of the many animals on the list of population control for baby birds. Oh, you
My
thought that was a
God.
mammal thing. Well, two can play that game. Yo, who wrote this script? I did. I wrote it. But birds in general will eat virtually anything that doesn't pack them up in the process. Seagulls have been seen scarfing down squirrels with zero remorse. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one person in the world down a dog thanks to this flying antichrist. But the biggest example of feathery f***ery is what happens on Malgus Island. This is where we go full circle.
Seagull.
This island off the coast of South
Yeah,
Africa is
look
a
at them.
nursery for the thousands of Cape Gannets nesting here.
Brighton Beach.
Which would probably be a good
Yeah.
idea if someone ain't snitched to the pelicans. Because a population of white pelicans started traveling to Malgus just so they can swallow gannet chicks whole, often right in front of their parents. And if one was unlucky enough to have both parents out at sea, that's just an easy lick for this attack on Titan pterosaur. It gets worse when you realize that half-digested, fully molested baby birds often end up being regurgitated for the pelican progeny to eat. And you thought they just ate fish. Predators come in many forms, and one island in the Pacific is home to one of the most unlikely. Because if you bleed on the wrong island, you can attract a pack of coconut crabs. Not only is this satanic manifestation in the form of blood, they're
No,
more
thank
than
you.
enthusiastic scavengers.
Fuck
In a
that.
study done on Nikomaroru Island, it It took the homicidal hermit crabs a week to completely undress a pig carcass down to the bones. But with pinchers strong enough to humble a coconut, the killer crabs are more than capable of catching their own prey. Especially when they can climb trees and ambush sleeping birds. This video was taken
Your bed then, mate.
of a seabird. The part you don't see is where a group of crabs arrived at the injured and incapacitated avian and proceeded to tear the bird apart. They've also been known to make a meal out of rats, cats, and maybe even humans. Because a grisly theory on the disappearance of Amelia Earhart was that a cluster of crabs got to her before anyone else could. And the worst part? There's no guarantee she was relieved from life by the time they got to her. Because even though Mr. Krabs on creatine normally goes for fruit, just like most animals on Earth, they're only as vegetarian as their options. Hug your loved ones, stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
Wow. That's another reason to stay out the sea. That's all I'm saying.
It might taste alright then.
The bro tastes amazing.
King crab, innit?
You see the size of it on that bin, though?
know, yeah.
Is that a full-size bin?
Well, I've seen king crab legs, like frozen ones and more fresh ones that you've seen in restaurants or whatever, and they're huge, like babies, like arms. Yeah,
They're not believable when you see them. You go like, that's been enlarged. It's like, nope. No, it hasn't.
No, it's just the legs.
Yeah,
it's just the legs.
Not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, so it's so they definitely I know they grow to sort of like sizes, sort of thing, but it's very educational, this channel. For me.
Massively. Yeah, because I didn't know about any of them animals eating other animals. And, I mean, the sheep ones are most disturbing for me still.
Yeah, especially if you're eating sheep meat as well.
Yeah,
mutton or lamb or whatever, and they're feasting on dead birds or whatever.
Sheep, God, I just can't believe sheep.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The other one is a gannet. That gannet one there. It was going after what was he? I can't remember what birds we were going after. But he was,
the pelican.
Pelican was
it?
it?
Pelican, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Going after the gannets,
the gannets. What's it? Yeah,
gannets, cygnets or babies or.
But you see, there was no fight back.
No,
there was no. It was just like
accepted, don't you?
Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're like probably 3, 4, 5 times bigger than a gannet as well.
Yeah, just sits there eating.
They're like, what we're supposed to do with this one?
But no, even fly away or anything, or don't try and get away. It's just to sit there and watch it.
It's just hideous, isn't it?
Nature's just brutal, isn't it?
I know. It's like seeing the.
They don't hang about, do they? They don't take any prisoners. No, that's for sure.
It's like seeing the hippo open its mouth, and you just go, "How are you going to try and get away from that?"
Yeah.
What's the wingspan on that? Do you reckon?
It's so.
A meter.
It's huge, isn't it? Probably bigger than that.
Don't they have the biggest bite though, and the biggest?
They must do.
The heaviest, the way you call it.
Yeah,
the most force,
like pressure and everything. Yeah, but I mean, just fight to survive, aren't they? That is nature, isn't it? It's all about survival.
Food chain.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
So, but they're absolutely brutal, these animals, aren't they?
Well, when you see dogs or cats, domesticated pets, sort of like turn sometimes, you can see like how it would work in the wild.
Oh yeah, I mean cats do it on birds all the time, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, I mean they might not sit there and have like a full meal of one, but they still have a good go at them.
They bring it in.
I've seen squirrels. I've seen squirrels chasing birds.
Really?
I've seen like you sat there in the back garden, you watch it like, and then you see a squirrel just leg it across the what's and then a pigeon fly off.
See, we've seen a few videos as well with people coming out of the houses and squirrels diving on them. I think we saw one the other day. And now I'm thinking, I thought it's quite funny, quite cute, but it's probably trying to eat me. It's probably here's my next meal.
Shit it.
Yes, I would. I'm not denying it.
I think we all would. To be fair.
Absolutely. It'd be terrifying.
Anything that takes you by surprise.
Yeah, but then sort of that scurrying around you, like, oh no,
hey, just volley it.
What a great video, by the way.
As
always.
Yeah,
unbelievable video.
It's a top channel, isn't it? It really is.
Superb.
Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.